Hello, everyone. You're welcome to the IQ Leadership Retreat 2025. This is a maiden edition, and I'm so much glad to, be your convener and host on this. To tell us about, very quick about the IQ Leadership Summit Retreat. It's a program, an event put together to more like increase our leadership quotient. If I ask you what do you think the IQ in the word means, you can put whatever you think in the chat box. Either you are on Zoom or you are on YouTube. Yes, you can put what you think the IQ is. But I mean, the IQ retreat is something that is put together to more like help leaders across the world. And what do we think when we say leader? Leader simply means you are leading something, and what you lead does not have to be everything. It doesn't have to be you don't have to be the most important in the team. Leadership starts with yourself, as Dr. John Maxwell always say. And so yes, this edition is supported by Equip Nigeria. Equip Nigeria is the foundation of John C. Maxwell. They're able to partner with us to do this. And of course, we have satisfied Maxwell coaches joining us. We have 5 of them. We have one joining us from Nigeria, Dubai. We have South Africa. We have Ghana, and of course, we have Switzerland. So yes, you should be looking, so much to this. It's going to be a phenomenal one. So of course, you want to get your pen, you want to get whatever writing material you think you will need, and probably you might just need to have a cup of water or a bottle of water beside you during the course of the whole event. It should be around 2 hours. We are already 20 minutes into it. Sorry for taking your time, but yes, I mean, we start shortly. Our first facilitator is very ready to get into this, and I'll be introducing him shortly as he unmute and turn on his camera. Yes. So we can go live on him. While I wait for him, and I wait from the queue from the technical team for him to do that, I would tell us what the meaning of IQ means in the IQ retreat. Yes, what this whole event is put together by the Intellect Quest company. That is a company I am founding, and I'm the chief knowledge officer of it. And all we do is that we are into knowledge. You're going to be hearing so much about it in time come. It's a global brand. So yes, look forward to it. Later, after all of this, we'll be introducing the brand properly to us. So we get familiar to it and how we can interact with it, because we're going to be doing massive stuff around it. Conversations are going around the board of advisors for the company. It's in progress. We'll be launching it soon, but I mean, we can't wait. If you remember, for some of you who were able to join the Ray Summit, that was the first program hosted by the Intellect Quest company, and of course the high school educational seminar, which was held on in April. Yes, the Ray Summit was held December 28, 2024, and January 1st, 2024. 2025, with the title "Transforming Your Ideas into Actions." And of course, preparations are already going for the next edition. The title is going to be Behind 20 26. You don't want to miss resubmit, on the 28th and of 2025, December 28th of 2025, and also January 1st, 2026. So look forward to it. All right. I think Dr. Alfred is ready for us and is ready to do this. Okay, I can see his camera. All right, yes. So here we go. Of course, you already know what the IQ means. IQ means intelligence quotient, but in this context, it means, guess what it is? Intellect quest. So what it simply means is that you are, you're on a quest to increase your intelligence. Yes, you're on a quest to increase your intelligence. And ladies and men, here we go on the IQ Leadership Retreat 2025. If your hands are not busy, just do a virtual clap, or just give a start as we start up and invite our guests. I can see a number of familiar names on the screen. However, there are some that are not. So yes, you are in the right place. Just stay in tune and keep enjoying this. Yes. All right. Here I bring in Dr. Alfred Adeniyi, our first speaker. All right, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Adura Migba. Thank you. It's such an honor to be here. I'm excited already at what we're looking at. It's going to be an amazing, amazing night so far. I'm really looking forward to it. So tonight, of course, I'm going to be talking about something that matters to life. It is the height of your success. It determines the height of your success. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to experience altitude in life, you want to experience elevation in life, then you need to think about your attitude. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. But before we go too far, I want us to listen and watch a video from a mentor of mine who is in person. Then I will be back and we're going to do this video ready. Come, thank you.
I'm excited about the opportunity ahead for you to learn, to interact, to take action, to grow. And today's session is on attitude. And I have a question for you. What determines in your life when you have a good day or a good week or a good year? I mean, what is it that kind of gauges that it was something good that was happening to you? Well, I can guarantee you it's not your circumstances and it's not your finances. I know a lot of people who are poor but very happy and have a great attitude. I know a lot of people that are rich and are really miserable. You don't even want to really be around them. And I can tell you that it's not the people around you that truly make you happy. My wife Margaret and I several years ago were doing a conference and we were in a Q&A period, and one of the ladies looked at Margaret and asked her the question, "Does John make you happy?" I'll never forget her response. She looked immediately back at the lady and said, no, he doesn't make me happy. And I looked at Margaret and I said, kind of explain yourself. Now, I don't know if you've ever asked somebody to explain themselves, but if you have, sometimes when they do that, when they explain themselves, you wish you really wouldn't have asked them to explain themselves. And as soon as I said, Margaret, explain yourself to the audience here, she said, I realized in the first 6 months that John would never make me happy. And you can tell we're not going the right way. We're going downhill kind of fast. And then she said, because for the first 6 months of our marriage, that's exactly what I expected him to do, make me happy. I was teaching in school, and he was in his first pastorate, and I'd come home from school and say, we'll have dinner together, and he'd call me from the hospital, and somebody had a wreck, and he wasn't going to be able to come home for dinner, or I was coming home and I was having to grade papers and stuff just kept getting in the way. And I kept saying, he'll make me happy, he'll make me happy, he'll make me happy. And then about 6 months into the marriage, she said, I one day awakened myself and realized the only person that could make me happy is me. And then she said, the moment that I determined that it was my responsibility to make me happy, it was my responsibility to have the right attitude about me, she then looked at me and smiled and said, and John has added immeasurably to my happiness. That was close, wasn't it? What Margaret was saying is what I want every one of us to understand, and that is that the only person that can control your attitude is you. You're in total control of it. And the world that you see right now is colored by the attitude that you have. And I tell people all the time, and this is exciting to me to share this with you. The fastest way for you to change your life is to change your attitude. I think all of us have times in our life where we say, boy, I need to make a change in it. And when people come to me and talk to me about that, I look at them and I smile and I say, the biggest and the quickest way to change your entire life is to change the attitude you have. And I call my attitude the difference maker. And what I mean by that is the fact that attitude isn't everything, but it's the main thing. It's the thing that allows us to change the way we see others and the way we see ourselves. And when I talk about the fact that it's not everything, please understand, there are people who will tell you that everything is attitude, but it's not. I mean, attitude won't make up for incompetence. If you're incompetent, it's not going to help you keep your job just because you have a good attitude. I guess the good news is when you get fired, you'll still be happy. I don't know, but it isn't going to make up for it isn't going to make up for the lack of experience that you have in your life. But attitude is the one thing in your life that when you're close, it's going to put you over the top. I mean, just think about it for a moment. If you're going to hire two people and both of them had great experience, both of them had great skill level, but one had a great attitude, one had a poor attitude, who are you going to hire? You're going to hire the person with a good attitude. It was the difference maker. It gives you that positive edge in your life if it's a good attitude. Now, the great news that I have for you is that your attitude and my attitude is a choice. And you and I are responsible for that choice. And to be honest with you, I run into a lot of adults, they don't understand that. Somehow they think that the attitude that they have right now was given to them by someone else. Well, if you had my boss, you wouldn't like your job, you'd have a bad attitude. Or you lived with my spouse, you wouldn't have a good attitude. People don't give you a bad attitude. You give it to yourself and you're responsible for it. When I was a little child, my favorite story as a little kid was The Little Engine That Could. And it was all about this little engine that had to climb a big hill, and no one thought that engine had a chance, that little train, to get up to the top. But that little guy says, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. He's going chugging up that hill as good as he can, and after much effort and perseverance and some time, he gets to the top, and I thought I could. I thought I could. And as a little kid, I would just tell that story and read that story all the time, because I understood that within that story was an attitude that was a difference maker. So as I have studied successful people, they have 5 attitude traits that really do make up the difference in their life. One is they're just plain positive. What I mean by that is that they see things in a better perspective, in a better way, in a better light. And they say things in a better perspective, in a better way, in a better light than anyone else. I grew up in a home that was filled with positive attitude. My father, who is still alive at 95 and is still positive in life. It's amazing. I saw him the other day. He had a fall. He broke 6 ribs, went into some major rehab. And so I visited him during those times, but he was able finally to go to lunch with me. So I took him out to lunch. He's got his walker. He's sitting down across the table from me. And he's saying, John, I'm right now still in rehab. I've still got to have 24-hour care. But he leaned forward to me. He didn't want me to miss this. He said, I've got my walker here. And he said, what I want you to know, John, more than anything else is, I'm happy. And And I looked at my father and I said to myself, his name's Melvin. I always want to be like Melvin. In spite of 24-hour care, 6 ribs broken, at the age of 95, he's still happy. You see, your attitude will control everything of how you see things and see life and see people and see yourself. Another trait of people that have really a good attitude is they're teachable. In my book, Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn, I talk about a teachable spirit, which basically is a spirit of wanting to learn. A person that's teachable is always hungry, wants to learn. And so therefore, they're always ready to learn from anybody they're around, any situation, any experience. They have a teachable spirit. Thirdly, people with great attitudes are solution-focused. You tell me and show me a person with the right kind of an attitude, and here's what they know. There's always an answer. There's an answer. And they're going to find it, and they're going to figure it out. And they don't have it now, and that's okay, because they still believe there's always an answer. And that belief of always an answer allows them to be persistent and overcome obstacles and barriers. And they find opportunity, because what I discovered many times is that surrounding opportunity is all kinds of problems and obstacles. Opportunity never stands alone with welcome arms saying, there's nothing to pay here, there's nothing to do here, just come, it's easy for you. There's always a price to pay and a barrier to climb over. Number 4, people with a great attitude are persistent. What I mean by that is the fact that they're never down. They're either up or they're getting up. What that means is they get knocked down, but they don't stay down. They're always ready to rise up and meet another day with a good attitude. And finally, I think that people with great attitude are grateful. They have what I call an attitude of gratitude. And what I mean by that is very simple, that they realize that God is their source, and that the things that they have in life are a blessing to them, and they look at them as a blessing. When our grandchildren were really small, we did a little Thanksgiving program, and my little grandson, John, his part of the Thanksgiving program was to memorize some stuff on attitude and on gratitude and how he was grateful at Thanksgiving. He had 3 or 4 lines, and he was trying to get it, but he wasn't getting it really good, and finally came to me and said, Papa, he said, this gratitude stuff is exhausting. It's just exhausting. It's hard for me to know all this stuff. Well, it may be exhausting, but it's the only way to live, because it's the way for us to understand that every good and perfect gift comes from God and from others around us. You see, we cannot control our circumstances, but we can control our choices. And I would encourage you today, right now, at this moment, choose a positive attitude, because it's a difference maker. It's a difference maker for you. It's a difference maker for me. It's a difference maker for every person that's with you today at your round table. So now let's just take a moment and see what's coming up. You see, after each lesson, there will be a round table on that day's subject. For example, I just taught you on attitude, and so you're going to go into a round table where you're going to talk about attitude. And I want you to talk honestly about yourself. You're among friends, just, the good, the bad. Here's where my attitude really is good. Here's where my attitude's really bad. And as you're sitting in that round table, listen to others, because every person at that table has something that they're going to teach you. You're going to learn from each other and from each other's experiences. And as you're listening and as you're learning, I want you to choose what you're going to apply. What fits for my life? What do I need to take away from this round table discussion? And most important, take action. Because that's where change occurs. Change doesn't occur when I think about it or even when I talk about it. It's when I do it. All transformation is a result of action. So that's where change occurs. So be sure that at the end of the round table, there's something that you're going to do immediately that'll make your life a little bit better in this area of attitude. So enjoy today's round table.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. How was it? 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 Come on, how was it? How was that? That was lit, isn't it? Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, one thing you need to understand is this. I was saying to you that attitude is the best thing. Attitude is, I mean, as far as it's not everything, but it's that one thing that actually makes a whole difference in your life. And that's exactly what Dr. John Maxwell was saying. And you need to understand that. That's very powerful, isn't it? See, look, when I was growing up, when I started using my glasses, I mean, I had to go to the ophthalmologist, and that some people call opticians, and all that, the eye doctor, the eye specialist. And I was told, I was going to have to pick some lens. So, I mean, so I was going to pick up my glasses, and they said, you know what's the color that you want us to tint your lens to? And they gave me two options. So one was going to be peach color, the other one was going to be what? Blue. And guess what? So I was thinking, this is sounding so posh. The peach is sounding so posh. So I said, I'm going to choose the peach color. And as I chose the peach color, guess what? For two 2 years of my life, it was like hell, because everything I saw through those lenses was through the eyes of a peach colored lens. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. So if I'm looking at your white shirt, it's going to be white plus peach color. If it's green shirt or whatever it is, it would be that color plus the peach color. I couldn't get the real deal. After that, of course, I mean, wisdom told me, that I needed to use a lens that I could actually see well through. Can I say to you that that's exactly how your attitude is in life? That's how your attitude is in life, ladies and gentlemen. It's very important. You've heard John say it. Very important that those people who have positive attitude, they go what? Number one, they've got what? I want you to put it in the chat box. Let's interact. Let's interact. Okay? Let's interact. It's very important. I want you to put in the chat box. So what did you learn from John? What John was saying, what did you learn from it? What you learn from that video? Quickly put in the chat box quickly as we go on. Right? I want you to go on because I'm going to be reading it. We're going to be flowing together and having fun wherever you are in the world. Okay? Beautiful. Great one. I want to welcome you to the best time of your life because it's very critical and very important. All right. So like I was saying, the same way. Beautiful. Thank you, Emmanuel. Emmanuel says positive attitude, teachable spirit, solution oriented. Beautiful. I love that. I learned to be teachable. Powerful. I love that. Love that. I love that. I love that. Beautiful. Keep on dropping in the chat box. What did you learn from the video? What did you pick up? What's that thing that leapt at you? What's that thing that is, that you learned that you're taking away with you already? Oh, choose a positive attitude because it's a difference maker for you. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Awesome. That's great. Now, let me go on. Right. So, be teachable. Thank you, Miss Sylvia. Thank you. Very important. So, that is very critical, ladies and gentlemen. You need to understand that. Because, look, so the same way I was seeing through my lens is the same way people see through the lens of attitude in life. What you see matters. How you think matters. What you believe matters. Now, when anybody walks into a room, ladies and gentlemen, if they have a positive attitude or a bad attitude, you will know. You may not be able to define it. Oh, I love what Gershon said. Thank you, Gershon. That's powerful. Your attitude is the paintbrush of your mind. Beautiful. It paints everything. It paints the perspective of your life, the way you see things. It paints the way you see things. So if your attitude is bad, your mind is going to be dreary. It's going to be blurry. Beautiful. My attitude helps me to stay persistent and it controls everything. Beautiful. That's it. Whether you like it or not, your attitude determines the altitude that you go to, the altitude of your life. And we said it that it's not everything, but it determines how far you go in life. And it's that difference is the difference maker. That means the larger success, the amount of success you're going to have in life, how far you're going to go in life. And like I was saying to you, it's very important that you understand this, that your attitude is everything. So you've got to make it positive. So some quick things that you need to know about attitude, some quick things you need to know about attitude is that, ladies and gentlemen, is that, look, your attitude is a choice that you make. Your attitude is a choice that you make. Whether you like it or not, your attitude is a choice that you make. You heard what John said. A lot of us, we like to push you know, the way we feel, how we react, how we respond to things. We like to push that to people, right? We want to, you know, say that, oh, this person got me angry, this person made me act and all that. But hello, let's break the shit, let's break the table, let's shatter the table right now. Because the truth of the matter is, you choose to be who you are. You choose to act the way you do. Let me tell you something. I had to take responsibility for my actions, you know, years ago. It was very important for me to understand that, you know, that I'm the one that chooses to be angry. I'm the one that chooses to be sad. I'm the one that chooses to be mad. I'm the one that chooses to, the emotions that I experience. Now, somebody can do something to provoke that emotion, but you see, I have the responsibility of choosing the kind of emotion, the kind of feeling that I will have. Ladies, can I come to you quickly? Nobody is breaking your heart. You allowed your heart to be broken. Oh my goodness, doctor, are you being sarcastic? No, I'm not being sarcastic right now. I'm just telling you the truth because that's how it is. Can I tell you the truth? Because look, I've seen a lot of people go mad because they said a man may broke their heart. Listen to me, honey, baby, honey pie. Listen to me, girl. You have the right to what? You have the right to say to yourself, I'm going to take my heart and I'm going to enjoy my life. That's the truth. Because, hello, if he treats you badly, then it's not for you in the first place. Your king is coming. Did you hear what I'm saying? Your king is coming. Gentleman, listen to me. Nobody breaks your heart. I remember a young man, you know, trying to commit suicide because he said the lady broke his heart. Come on, are we joking here? Listen to me. You chose the way you feel. Are we here? And then some of us, you know, we get angry and we lose it and we say that no, somebody, made you angry and all that. Listen to me, you choose your emotions. You have a power, you have power over your emotions. I remember coming across a statement in the good book years ago, and it said that the man who can control himself is more powerful than the governor of a city. I said, my goodness. I said, what? Did you hear what I just said? Then another one says that oh, I'm trying to get this now. It says that the one who, a man who cannot control his anger, is a fool. My goodness. So, you know what that means? So it means that the one who gets angry is a fool. And we need to understand these things. You see, we need to understand it. So look, and let me tell you this. If I can control your emotions, that means I can control your life. Anybody that can control your life is just like the way we say it in my country with the balance. We say that, you know, people, somebody has your mumu button. It reminds me of a story of another mentor of mine, Dr. Samadhi was sharing years ago about how his father, you know, went to a party that, you know, his mother's side was holding. You know, in Africa, we do a lot of parties like that. And when he got there, the interesting thing was that the praise singer, you know, just like some of the new guys, you know, there's a guy now that sings, you know, that can, you know, praise you so much that you forget about your money and then you spray everything. So that's exactly what happened. The guy got into his head, you know, and played with his emotions, and then he got so carried away. And the father, you know, had taken half of his salary previously, dropped everything, went back home, took the remaining part of the salary, brought it there and dropped everything. And Dr. Sam was saying that, you know, for the rest of that month, he said, you know, taking Gary, you know, was was a luxury that month because of that act of his father. So anybody that can control your emotions can control your life. So don't give your emotions. Listen, nobody should be that powerful that they have power over your emotions. Are you getting what I'm saying here? You know, people have gone to war because of emotions, right? Are you listening to me? We need to learn to put a lead to our emotion. So understand that your attitude, how you react, how you see life, how you react, how you see things is a choice that you make, ladies and gentlemen. Another one I want to say to you quickly is that your attitude affects your outlook, how you see life. Your attitude affects your outlook in life. You know, how you see things, you know, how you perceive things, the way you look at life and all that. Let me tell you something. So quickly, two young men came to a village and they met an old man at the door. I mean, at the gate of the entrance of the village. The first one came earlier, and when he came, guess what he said? He said, sir, he said, old man, he said, are the people in this village, are they good or they're bad? And the old man asked him, he said, where are you coming from? He said, the people that are there, he said, are they good or they're bad? He said, sir, he said, they're really, really good people. He said, then come in, because the people here too are good people. And then, you know, about an hour later, the other young man comes in and he's looking very much like the other guy that just came. All the gentlemen that just came some minutes, a couple of hours before him. And the old man looks at him and says, yeah, wow, you look at like somebody. He said, yeah, that's my brother. He says, so, old man, sir, the people in this village, are they good people or they're bad people? And the old man looks at him and smiles and says, you know what? The people in your village, are they good or they're bad? He says, sir, they're terrible people. They're really bad. He says, I'm sorry that you can enter this village. Why? Because the people in this village are also bad people. Wow. I mean, how you would wonder, why would he say that? I mean, he spoke to the other one the other time. He said the people are good. Now he's saying the people are bad. Why? Because, Elu, the way you see life is the way life treats you. If you see people as bad, then everything will be bad. If you see people as good, then everybody around you will be good. You need to understand that because your outlook is affected by your attitude, ladies and gentlemen. Number 3 is that your attitude precedes your actions. Your attitude precedes your actions. Every action that we take is a product, is a manifestation of the attitude that we have inside of us. And you need to understand that, right? Yes, because it's first inward, then outward. Thank you, Gershon. Yes, your environment determines your environment. Are we together? It's for success within than without. And then if it's garbage in, it's garbage out. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what it is. So if you fail inside, it shows on the outside. So it affects you. It's first inside. What you produce, the way you act, the way you relate with people, it's a product of your attitude. It's how you see them, it's how you perceive them, it's your personal belief, and all these things, and they matter. Ladies and gentlemen, that is very critical. Next up is that your attitude does what? It enhances your relationships. If you got a positive attitude, it will enhance your relationships. If you've got a negative attitude, it's going to what? It's going to take away your relationships. Why? Because the truth is, remember, if you walk into any room, if you got a good attitude, the people will know it. If you got a bad attitude, they will know it. Remember that the person who must have friends must first be friendly. That's what it is. So if you got a positive attitude, then you're able to attract all the good things that you need in life. That's very, very, very important. That's very important. Let me go on. Let me quickly go on because of our time. Next up is your attitude alters your outcomes. You know, I say to myself, it's going to end in praise. It doesn't matter how it is, it will end in praise. That's my outcome. I already predicted it. My attitude is already regulated to that. You know, a lot of us, we live as if our emotions, as if our attitude is a thermometer. In other words, it responds to the atmosphere. No, 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 no. Your attitude must become a thermostat. What does that mean? It means it controls the temperature, regulates everything around it. You are the one who should regulate your outcomes. So I say to myself, it's going to end in praise, and that's just the way it is. It will end in praise. It has always worked because I believe that. You've got to be optimistic about in a cynical world. You've got to be optimistic in a sarcastic world. You know, there are a lot of people around you who don't want you to succeed. You know, the reason why a lot of them don't want you to succeed is because they're not succeeding and they don't know why you're succeeding. So you don't allow them to pull you down. What do? You will shine your light so brightly so that they can get inspired. Very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. What are the benefits that you have when you actually, develop a positive attitude in life? Number one is that you are content and you enjoy life more. I can tell you, my life has practically changed. My marriage has gotten better. Years when I started, I made the decision to actually, have a positive attitude. Then you inspire others to achieve more together. A lot of people have met me. I've talked to thousands. I've met little people because I changed and I tweaked my attitude. I tell you, it's a positive, it's a powerful thing, to have. Then you're able to attract people who exhibit the same qualities. Oh, I've got a lot of plenty. I mean, when I mean plenty, I've got plenty friends, a multitude of friends, of people now, because you attract who you are, whether you like it or not. So when I started to don on and put on, the garment of positive attitude, to change my inside, then what happened is I started attracting people who are exactly like me. And then next up, number 4 is you see opportunities in every situation. Very important. You see the good in everything. You see opportunities. You see when you're too down, you cannot see positive attitude around you. You can't see opportunities because they're all over everywhere. But let me tell you something. When you change the way you look at life, it changes everything for you. Next up is you're able to usually exhibit gratitude towards others. Yes. When you're grateful, it's an attitude of gratitude. You know, when you're grateful, when you're positive, you're always, you know, you're always, 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 always grateful. And when you're grateful, your life gets sweeter, it gets better, and not bitter. You see, when you are grateful, you become what? When you're grateful, you become, you know, faithful, you become fruitful, you know, because you're grateful. And anybody who is grateful becomes great. That's the way it works. So, you know, the grateful person is always happy and it changes everything. Next up is that you keep pushing until you succeed. Remember what John said, that anybody need to, ladies and gentlemen, for you to develop your positive attitude. Number one is that you must talk to yourself. 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 Very important. You must talk to yourself. When I was growing up, I realized that I had a lot of, you know, self-esteem issues and everything. So I would go to the mirror and talk to myself and tell myself, "You're a champion. I mean, you're great." And I wrote a song for myself. I know I can make it. I can be who I was meant to be. I can be the one. And I can be the best thing ever is and ever will be. I can achieve it. You know what? You know, because I believe in me. You know, you have to speak to yourself. You look at yourself in the mirror. Can I be real? When I was looking at myself that time, you know, I would say to myself, you know, "You're not looking good, you're ugly, you're that." And then one day I woke up and I told myself, you're handsome, you're a great dude, you are a champion, and you are great. You've got to talk to yourself. To develop a positive attitude, you've got to talk to yourself. You've got to speak positive things to yourself. Let me tell you, the world is full of negativity already, negativism, and you need to look at yourself and talk positive stuff to yourself. Number two is you got to choose positive relationships over the negative ones. Now, if there's anything that I've learned in my 45 years, it is to practically disengage from negative people. Why? Because negativity is contagious. Negative attitude is contagious. All right, so I don't want it. I mean, it's like virus, it's like COVID. You know, it's like, you know, it's so contagious, it's airborne. You know, I don't want you. If you've got a negative, I want to stay away from you because I discovered it will affect my mental health and it will affect a lot of things about. So choose positive attitude and positive relationships over the negative ones. Some of us will need to go today and break some relationships, literally break them. I mean, walk away from those negative, toxic people. I'm being real with you. Number three is you got to feed your faith and starve your fears. All right. So the story is told of a Cherokee Indian, 80-year-old Cherokee Indian male, and he was talking to his granddaughter and said, "You know, inside every human being is a wolf, two wolves, sorry, and they keep on fighting. They keep on fighting to the end of time. I mean, till the day you breathe your last." Hello, and guess what? So a little girl, the 8-year-old, looks at the grandpa, the 81-year-old grandpa, you know, wise grandpa, and looks at him and says, "Grandpa, so which one wins?" And he looks at her and smiles and says, "The one you feed, the one you feed." Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you feed your faith and you starve your fears, guess who wins? Your faith. Your faith brings in positive emotions. Your faith makes you. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in the world that you're creating. You got to believe in the life that you're creating. I'll say this to you quickly, ladies and gentlemen, that what you build matters. What you build matters. And how you build it, it also matters. So make sure that you're living a life of legacy. Make sure you're building a life of positive impact. Make sure, but all that comes because you have a positive attitude from the very beginning. Remember this, you got to own up your life. You got to take responsibility and stop living at the mercy of your government, living at the mercy of people. You got to live at the mercy of your faith, live at the mercy of your positive attitude, and watch how your life goes up. Beautiful. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you questions and let us interact. Let us interact. All right. Let me ask you questions, and you're going to drop in the Dropbox quickly. I mean, chat box for me, and let's talk. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think is your positive attitude? But before we go there, can you go ahead and share with me? Just drop in the Dropbox, you know, and share with me. What did you pick up in everything that we discussed? What did you learn from the things that we discussed? What led to you? What were those things? Just keep on dropping in the box. And Adramimba, if I have the opportunity, can I have one or two people that I can talk to and just interact with them? Is that okay?
Oh yes, please. It's interactive.
All right, beautiful. Beautiful. Great. So let's have this. So can I have, one or two people that I can talk to, somebody who's going to, be my volunteer, who wants to sit on my hot seat tonight. Oh, thank you, Adenike. Your attitude matters. Your attitude is you. Wow. Powerful. Just like that. Wow. Awesome. So can I have one or two people? I want to have a male and a female. Okay, Miss Sylvia says your attitude is your choices. Wow. Awesome. Beautiful. Powerful. All right. I want to have somebody to speak with. I want a male and I want a female. I want a man and a woman. Who should that be? You can raise your hands and maybe that can help me to choose. Oh, you love to volunteer. Okay, Samuel, please unmute your mic and let us talk. Can we unmute Samuel Ogbonaya's mic and let us hear him speak? Emmanuel says speak.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Manuel. All right, Samuel, are you there?
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, Mr. Alfred.
All right, how are you doing?
I'm very well. Thank you.
Okay, great. I've got some questions for you. Now, Samuel, on a scale of 1 to 10, oh, Victory says anyone who can control your movement can control your life. Thank you for that. On a scale of 1 to 10, can you share with me how do you rate your post?
I think.
Samuel, are you there?
Yeah. Sorry, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right. So I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say 7. Yeah.
Oh, I think Samuel fits. We should go ahead and because of time, it's already 8 o'clock. Can we get somebody else? Who else wants to volunteer? Samuel, sorry. Back to you. Somebody else? So that we can make this interactive. Let's have a lady. Can we make this quick because of time? Okay. Okay, Pakinan for a while. Pakinam, please, yes, please unmute yourself and talk. Let's speak. Let me hear you. Can we unmute Pakinam?
Hello, can you hear me?
Pakinam, you're going to... Yes, we can hear you. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. Welcome. Yes, so Pakinam, so what jumped at you? What led at you in the discussion that we just had?
So I do understand the positive attitude, and the reason I raised my hand to volunteer, because I've been hearing from people who know me that I do have a positive attitude. So I was interested to have this conversation with you and see what would you like me to share?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, I didn't get you because your voice was trailing off at a point. Could you say that?
I'm ready with whatever you would like me to share. What would you like me to share?
Was at a point. Could you say that again? Okay, yeah. So I wanted to ask you that what were the lessons that you what are the lessons that you learned, you know, in the discussion? What did you learn first? And then I'll ask you some other follow-up questions.
Okay, I learned that attitude shapes how we see ourselves and how we see others. I learned that attitude is a choice. We can make that choice. I learned that we cannot control we cannot control the circumstances, but we can control the choices that we have.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we can grow our positive attitude by feeding that positivity.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's powerful right there, because it's very important that we ensure that we're in positive environments and we listen to, you know, positive things. You know, that's very important. You know, what you listen to, what you watch, what you hear will affect your positive attitude. You know, that's just the way it is. You've got to feed it. You know, if you don't feed it, then you know you lose it, because whether you like it or not, it leaks. Thank you very much, Pakinam. That's awesome. So, Pakinam, let me ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, can you rate yourself on a scale of positive attitude?
I would say I'm an 8.
8. Wow, beautiful. I mean, I mean, your attitude is like up here. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. So why did you rate yourself? Why did you rate yourself an 8? I mean, why did you give yourself an 8?
I always look for ways to make things better. Whatever is not in my control. Oh well, what is it that I can do? I can choose how to react, and
Awesome.
that's what's gonna make the difference in in my life, in the way I perceive things, and also you mentioned it's contagious. So
Yes.
if I'm leading, let's say, my house, it's going to be contagious for my kids, for my husband. Same thing if you're working in a team setting. It depends on how your attitude is. It's reflected to also other team members.
Powerful, powerful, powerful. You know, one of the things I found out is that, so I pastored for a couple of years, and I realized that if my attitude was terrible, once I came into the room, I came into the, you know, place for service, everybody will catch it. Everybody will catch it, and it will mess up the whole place. And then, you know, also as a businessman, I noticed that, you know, also in the place of work, when I show up, you know, if I show up, you know, with a positive attitude, we would have good results that day. And then when I showed up with a bad attitude, it will affect everybody. Very contagious, you know, right there. So yeah, that's awesome. That's excellent. So what do you think you would gain if you were to increase your rating, Pakenham, from 8 to like a 10? What would you gain? What would happen to you? Literally happen to you?
Oh wow. I think effect like will be more effective. More productivity would scale, and happiness. That the most important thing. Like, we want to live happy. So
Wow.
it's, yep.
I tell you. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So do you have anybody in your circle of influence who's a 10 that you know?
Whoa, that's a tough one.
Anybody in your family, anybody in your place of work, in your circle? Wow.
um I do know, yes. Yes, one of my bosses, I would say she is a 10. She has so much empathy, and she can turn anything that we might think as a negative thing into an opportunity, into a learning. She even cheers us, even if we mess up or do a certain mistake that we think it's a big deal, she turns it into celebration that we are trying, and that's, if we did not try, then we're not gonna fail. That's, we're one step closer to succeeding.
Powerful. What's the name again? What's the name of this person you said?
She's my boss at work.
Oh, your boss. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Great. Awesome. Beautiful. Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Pakinam. So let's round up. Let's round up. We're going to round up with you also. So what are those things you're going to do from now? You know, everything that I'm doing with Pakinam is what I want everybody to do. You're right. You should answer those questions that I'm asking her, right? Very critical. Everybody should answer those questions. They're very important. So Pakinam, let me ask you, what are the things you're going to start doing from today that's going to take you to a 10? I mean, you're going to start immediately. You're going to start now. You don't want to waste time. You know, like you're going to start now. That would change everything, take you to a 10. What are you going to start doing?
Having an open mind to and understand that there's always a solution, and maybe there's if there's a solution, there's many solutions as well, and feeling having gratitude for the opportunity that presents itself, whether it's a good one, cherish it and enjoy it, and if it's not a good one, learn from it.
Powerful. So here's me giving you a round of applause and you know, celebrating you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pakinam. It was great talking with you. Do have a great day. Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm going to be signing out. But before I sign out, you know, I had a very personal experience just last week. My father passed on to glory. You know, my father, you know, practically, you know, left this world, and I was broken. I was broken. You know, every now and then, you know, I still have that emotions and everything. But guess what? What I have learned is that life goes on, and how you see things matter. For me, I remember him as a great man. I remember him, very proud of him. He left a great legacy. He left a good time. I mean, left wonderful children and a lot of wonderful things. How do you see that situation that happens to you? That matters. Remember, in the midst of everything, don't forget, through the good and the bad, it's still part of your life. So it's not about what happens to you. It's about how you react or you respond, better still, to what happens to you. Thank you very much. My name is Alfred Atiba, and I'm the High Performance Catalyst. It's good to be with you. I'll be out of your faces. Thank you very much for your time. Bye.
Wow. Somebody just, you know, give a round of applause. Yes, that virtual clap. Just keep, you know, just keep giving it. Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate this. And yes, we really, you know, have deep condolence to you and your family about your dad. Despite in all of that, you were still able to, you know, bless us and, you know, just dish us with, you know, that wonderful value of attitude. And yes, please, as we get ready for the next session, our time is already running. But yes, I mean, could anyone say just one thing you've learned from what it says? If you can unmute and maybe just turn off your camera if you can, that would be great. Just tell us one thing. We need one or two people who can, you know, turn on their camera and tell us, because it's being broadcast live, and you know, it'll be nice to have that. So yes, please, anyone? Oh, okay. Pakim, just holding, I'm turning off your camera. Technical, please, could you help us? Technical, are you able to do that?
We cannot start our video because it is disabled by the host.
Oh, okay. Let me also check from here to see if I can help out. Oh, I'm not seeing the option on my side here. Okay, please try it now. Let's see.
Still the same thing.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, can you please tell us? You can go ahead.
What would you like? What would you like me to tell you?
Okay, you can turn off your camera now. Let's see.
Let's try.
All right,
yes.
good. Awesome,
oh,
awesome.
Worked. All right.
Yeah, it's worked. All right, go ahead. Could you please tilt it down just a bit? All right, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, are you talking to me?
Yes, go ahead and tell us.
Sorry, I missed the question.
Yes, just one thing, you picked up from here. From what you said.
So the theme today is about positive mindset and attitude. That's what I understood the most, is that we, as I said before, that it is a choice. Not many people understand that it's a choice. They just blame it on the circumstances that they're in, or what they are experiencing. Like, they blame it on the outside. Once you take control of your own emotions, you take control of your own reactions, then that's when positive attitude comes in. It's not that, we allow grace for ourselves to validate our feelings, but at the same time, we can overcome the negativity by always thinking and knowing that positive attitude is a choice.
Wow. Wow, thank you so much for sharing. Any other person? I saw someone unmuted. Just unmute and then I would make you then I will allow you open your video. Anyone? Okay, no one is getting on, but yes, thank you so much, Pakenam Fawal. Thank you so much for that insightful sharing, and thank you so much, Sir Dr. Alfred, for taking us on this. We do not take these for granted at all. So yes, right now we would be taking the next session, and just before we take the next session, let me tell us, what we are doing and what these sessions are all about. So yes, the John Maxwell has some set of values. There are 7 of them. However, we are able to treat just 6 of it in this retreat. And the idea is that, John Maxwell as we can say, number 1 leadership authority, in the world at large. And so his values, we are able to present it, and talk through it at this global roundtable. Yes. So get ready for the next one, and for even the others that will be coming tomorrow and next. It's going to be a good time indeed. I mean, trust me, it's going to be a good time. As we get our second speaker, Sadika KB, joining us from Dubai, UAE. Yes, she's ready for us. Yes, I can see her. Thank you for joining in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome for the second session, value session, Sadika KB.
Thank you, Adu. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure and honor to be on the IQ retreat, and hopefully everybody will enjoy and we get to add value to you. I'm so happy to be here. So my value, or the value I will be teaching on, is personal growth. Where do you think personal growth happens? Please answer in the chat box if you can. Drop your answers there. Where do you think it happens? At what moment in your life does it happen? Or another question, what are the ingredients for personal growth? Anyone has any answer? Okay. I'm not going to give you anything before we watch the video. Is the video ready? The video of John on personal growth, and then we'll pick it up from there. Thank you.
Okay, here's the question for you today. What is the greatest predictor of your future success? Wow, that's a loaded question, isn't it? I mean, when you think about your future and success, and you say, the greatest predictor of my success, what would it be? Well, I've got good news for you. I've got an answer. This isn't an answer just for me. This is an answer that I have watched and observed and has been proven in the lives of literally thousands of people that I know. The greatest predictor of your future success is that you're intentional in your personal growth. And there are 4 observations today that I want to give you why your personal growth should be at the top of your intentional list. The first one is the fact that growth is the only guarantee that tomorrow is going to get better. You see, the calendar guarantees that tomorrow you get older. That doesn't change. You can't roll that back. You can't change anything about the fact that every day that calendar keeps clicking, and every day you and I are a day older. The calendar guarantees that you're going to get older. But let me tell you something. The calendar doesn't guarantee that you're going to get better. The only guarantee that you have that as those days roll by and you get older, the only guarantee that you're going to get better is for you to have a passion for personal growth. You see, I'm 70, and I'm so excited about my life because I'm still learning and I'm still growing. In fact, when people come to me and they ask me, John, what would you say is the key to the personal success that you've had in your life? Without any question, every time I'm asked that, I say it's the fact that every day I personally grow. I intentionally grow myself every day. I get better every day. Every day I am preparing for tomorrow instead of repairing yesterday. You see, most people, they want to go through life. The calendar lets you do that. But I want to grow through life. And there's a lot of difference between going through life and letting the calendar click off the days, and yes, you're getting older, and growing through life. And as that calendar is clicking off the days, you're also getting a lot better. And your next level of living is going to require a better you. It's going to require a better me. In other words, when people say, well, I hope my future is bright, I look at them and say, hope's not a strategy. You don't need to hope that your future is going to get better. You intentionally make it better by committing yourself to daily personal growth. The second observation I want to make about personal growth is that to do so means that you're going to have changes in your life. If we don't change, we don't grow. And if we don't grow, come on, we're not really living. You see, growth demands a temporary surrender of security. It may mean a giving up of familiar but limiting patterns, safe but unrewarding work, and beliefs that no longer are believed in, and relationships that have truly lost their meaning, and thinking that cannot take us to the next level of living. Here's what I know. As we go through life, the only way that we get better is by being intentional in growing. Again, it's not automatic. It doesn't happen because we get older. It happens because we're intentional to get better. The third observation I want to make is the fact that growth is the great separator between those who succeed and those who do not. I tell people that I'm a mountain climber. Now, if you look at me, you can just tell this body is not the body of a mountain climber. But what I do say is I every day climb the mountain of personal development and growth. It's all uphill. None of it is easy. All of it is intentional. But I'm every day climbing. Now, what does that mean? Well, what that means is that if I'm every day climbing, first of all, I'm not at the top. And what that means, very simple, is the fact that I'm never going to get to the top. You never kind of get through this journey of growth. There's no finish line to it. But every day I'm climbing. And what that also means is that if I'm climbing every day this mountain of growth and you're not, soon we're going to be separated. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, we're going to be separated. And that's what I mean about the fact that growth is the great separator between people. We all begin maybe on the same level, but then we determine how far we go, how high we go, how much we grow. And that's why I help people when they talk about being goal conscious or growth conscious. I encourage them always to be growth conscious. Now, we hear a lot more about being goal conscious, so let me give you the differences quickly. Being goal conscious means that I'm focused on a destination, where when I'm growth conscious, I'm focused on a journey, a never-ending journey. When I'm goal conscious, I get motivated. Goal consciousness motivates people, but growth consciousness matures people. If I'm growth conscious, it's going to be seasonal. It's for a period of time. But again, when you're growth conscious, growth is lifelong. It's again, a journey. It's never ending. Goal conscious people, well, the thing that they love about goals, it challenges them because, okay, in 1 week, in 1 month, in 2 months, I'm going to be at this certain level. So that's a very challenging thing. But if you're growth conscious, I have found it will not only challenge you, it'll change you. Because you're not going for a destination on the outside, you're going for a destination on the inside to be a better you. You see, growth conscious, when the goal is reached, we begin to plateau. But if we're growth conscious when the goal is reached, there's no plateau. I mean, we just keep growing. So I would encourage you to switch your mindset from being a goal-conscious person to be growth-conscious. And by the way, if you're growth-conscious, you'll hit every one of those goals. The only difference is you just won't stop and celebrate so long because you'll know that it is a journey, not a destination. My final thought on personal growth today is the fact that growth is joy. When I was 30, I had a mentor, and he said one day something to me that really stuck. He said, John, growth is happiness. And for many, many years, I just kept saying to myself, because I found it to be true in my life, that growth was happiness. I found just a lot of happiness in the fact that I was changing and becoming better and becoming bigger in my life. But at 70, I'd have to say that as I look back at what I heard at 30, that growth is happiness, I think happiness is too shallow of a word. I would tell you, my friend, it is my experience after a lifetime of growth that growth is joy. It's better, deeper, more satisfying than happiness. When I was a kid, when I'd wake up, I got up because I'm just one of those kind of kids. I didn't want to miss anything. I wanted to make sure that I took in everything. Well, I want you to know when you become intentional about your personal growth, you won't have to worry about missing the best things that life has to offer because you will be intentional in getting them. And that's what I want for you. I want you to intentionally grow because it's the only assurance, the only guarantee that tomorrow's going to get better in your life. Now, it's time for you to do the round table on personal growth. And remember, at the end of the round table, as you listen and you share, remember this. Take one thing out of that round table that you can act on immediately because that's where transformation happens in your life.
Okay. Are you able to answer my questions now? When and where does growth happen? And what are the ingredients of growth, in your opinion? After you heard John speak about that, any idea? Please drop your answers in the chat box. Intentionality. Thank you, Pakina. Yes, that's one ingredient, and that's a must. Anyone else? Personal growth is the great separator between those who succeed and those who don't. Yes, indeed. Thank you for sharing. Consistent actions. Yes, definitely. Okay. Discipline, consistency. Yes, all these are ingredients. That is so true. We have a saying here in the Middle East that says, if you want to raise your kids, you should raise them for a generation that is not your generation. And this is simply an invitation for mind shifting. So one of the most important ingredients for personal growth is to shift your mind. It's actually mind growth. It's a set mind growth. That's number one. Seeing things differently. Why? Because in his book, John Maxwell, the book of leadership, he says that fast is faster and forward is shorter. And if we don't have this agility and flexibility in our mindset to grow into the opportunities that are coming at us so fast, and in a shorter period of time, we cannot fit into those opportunities whenever they offer themselves. And it's the same when it comes to raising up our children. We need to raise them for a generation that is not ours. So that means we need to intentionally grow so we can understand what we can offer to our children. I would like to start by sharing with you that people, or most of us, we grow when we fall. And what I love about John's teachings is he calls this falling forward. It's not failing, it's falling forward. And I always compare that to our heartbeats. When we are alive, on the monitor, we see this wavy vibes. vibrations, those ups and downs. And this is an indicator that I am alive. And I use this as a metaphor for our personal growth. And when we die, it's a straight line on the monitor. So when I'm on the top, there's no growth happening. I'm comfortable, I'm happy, I have everything I have, but all of a sudden, life happens, something changes. Change. John Maxwell mentioned that. We grow when there is change, and we people are resistant to change. But when I go down, this is where growth happens. This is where reflection takes place. And I heard it from John. One day he was talking in one of his IMCs, and he said that when you fall forward, you have 3 days max to vent, to be angry, to release all those negative emotions. But it's not allowed for you to stay there longer than 3 days because you fall into those vicious cycles of denial, regret, anger, and it leads to depression, and it might lead to any other mental illness. So after 3 days, you pick yourself up intentionally and you start growing again. You start strategizing again. Another ingredient for personal growth is curiosity. It's humility. It's to be humble enough to admit that there was something wrong, whether in your leadership, whether in your strategy, and you add on that, you re-strategize, you redesign, you pick yourself up, and you move forward. And and it's a process, and it's so joyful. Why? Because you're alive. And John mentioned, imagine you living your life in a straight line from the grip to the grave. What would happen to you? You're alive, your heart is beating, you're breathing, but actually you are dead. So it's very important to shift our mindset from goals to growth, as John mentioned. When I shift from that, because when I start growing, ultimately I'm going to be fulfilling my goals. Excuse me. Well, they say that there are some moments that break us. Those moments for me, excuse me again, they didn't break me, but they rose my awareness. Another important ingredient for growth or personal growth is self-awareness. It's to be aware of your weaknesses, of your strength, of your triggers, of your emotions, and everything that is within your control. So instead of breaking me, they raised my awareness and I shifted. Each time I strategized and each time I was intentional on change in order to reach a better version of Sadiqa. And I still remember that conversation as if it was yesterday. I was young, passionate, but terrified. My father was angry, firm, and serious. Hey, young lady, did you do that transfer? I was drained. My energy was drained, and I replied, not again, Dad. I'm not changing majors. He fired. It's either medicine or forget about university. Calmly, I replied again, Dad, my Habibi. In Arabic, we say Habibi stands for my love. I am not made of Dr. Fabric. I want to be an ambassador. Thus, I chose political science. He shot back. It's either medicine or forget about university, and I'm not paying your tuition fees. End of story. You're staying at home. On that day, I didn't break. I shifted. And all of a sudden, there was this aha moment where I knew it was about ownership. Ownership of my voice. Ownership of who I am. Ownership of my purpose. And this led me in the future to understand that purpose precedes existence. Meaning, God created my purpose, then He created Sadiqa to fulfill it. This is where our uniqueness comes from. And God has planted unique seeds within me and unique seeds within each one of you. But unfortunately, once we are born, our persona is already created. The first persona is our parents' persona, or our parents' visualization of who we want to, of who they want us to be. And what happens, already the path is drawn. My father wanted me to be a doctor. He did not focus on my gifts, those seeds that God has planted within me for me to fulfill my purpose. So they got buried with this first layer of sand. Then I went to school. The focus is on what? My dad's focus is medicine. And the focus is on sciences, math, physics, chemistry, you name it. Whenever my dad came to see my teachers, the focus was on my weaknesses and not on my strength. And Sadiqa is weak in math. All the investment went on math. Extra courses, extra tutors, extra you name it, sessions, after school sessions, you name it, and I barely made it in math. How would you grow, or how would you plan your personal growth when your innate and inborn seeds are buried and you have no awareness about your potential and about your strength? So self-awareness is very important. Imagine you holding a bunch of seeds in your hands. And of course, I'm not a farmer. I wouldn't know which will give me a banana or a banana tree, or which will give me an apple tree, or so on and so forth. How would I discover the identity of that tree? Is when I plant that seed in the right environment. And when I nurture that seed and I water that seed and I give it all the nutrients it needs, and I remove the toxic weeds that might suck those nutrients out of it. And then it grows and it gives me fruit. The identity of a seed lies in its fruit. And the identity of a human being lies in his or her purpose. And in order to reach that and to offer our fruit to the world, we need to be intentional on our personal growth. First thing I need to do is create self-awareness in order to know my strength, and this is where I invest in my strength and not my weaknesses. Because as a leader, I'm humble, I'm vulnerable, and I know exactly who are the people I want to bring on my team in order to fill that gap. And this is where we have another mind shift that John speaks about. And this shift is from competition to completion. We are a puzzle. And when we come together as a puzzle and we complete instead of we complete, we create the beautiful tapestry of humanity that God has intended for us to achieve. Purpose and meaning, this is what gives a person what we call a calling. And this is when we shift from a life of success to a life of significance. For a life of success, it's all about me. I want that. I want that amount of money. I want that car. I want that house. I want. But when I shift to a life of significance, it's about others and about serving others. And in order to get there, I really need to invest in my personal growth, and I need to do that intentionally, and I need to be in the right environment. But because wherever there are toxic people around me, they will not allow me to grow. They will suck the nutrients out of me. Exactly like those weeds that suck the nutrients out of the seeds. Another important matter in order to grow, and John mentions these 3 points here. You must value yourself to add value to yourself. At a certain point, by the way, I don't like to call limiting beliefs because limiting beliefs, these are one of the, if you want, barriers that obstruct us from growing. As also I grew older and I gained more knowledge, I discovered that whenever you speak belief, by the way, or whenever you mention belief, people are on the defensive. Even for me, when I mentioned in my head that I had a limiting belief, it was like, this is very tough. I mean, how can I change a belief? But then I understood that this is not a limiting belief. It's just an outdated, protective story that I have created at a certain time because it protected me. But now it's outdated. And our brain is exactly like any other software. We need to update it all the time, like you update your phone and your laptop and so on and so forth. So when you think about this limiting belief that they call it, that it's a story, it's much easier for you to rewrite it. I remember when I was a child, I was an A student and I was always on the dean's honor list and the principal's honor list. And I was very well spoken since I was a kid. But whenever I spoke at home, I would hear either my mom, either my dad saying, this is an adult's conversation, stay out of it. Don't give your opinion. It's not for you to speak. The story I created in my head was, your voice doesn't matter. Your voice is not heard. And then when you go to school every single year at the beginning, every teacher reminds you, if you want to speak, you need to raise your hand. If you speak without that, you're going to be punished. It's either you go to the principal's office, either you go to, I will tell your parents about that, either I will distract from your grades. So in my head, my outdated protective story was, your voice doesn't matter. But when I realized and I started intentionally planning to become a keynote speaker, a public speaker, and a TEDx speaker, because I'm a twice TEDx speaker, I rewrote the story. The first thing I did is I reframed my thoughts. And by reframing, you need to go to the source. Where did this limiting belief of telling myself I'm not enough, I'm not worthy of growing, I'm not worthy of spending on my growth, I'm not worthy of taking that course or doing this or being in that position or so on and so forth. I need to know the source. I need to reframe it. And then the next step, I redesign it. My voice matters. People hear me when I speak. People say I give peace to them when I speak. And then I start rehearsing. And when I rehearse, it becomes grounded within yourselves. And it elevates your self-esteem, it elevates your self-confidence, and it elevates your your growth mindset. And this is when you start investing in yourself. And believe me, those aha moments are where the change happens and are where the personal growth happens. So whenever you fall forward, this is where I want you to release all the negative emotions, because we really need to release that. If we compile them, it will affect our health. And our emotions will translate in physical also illness, not only mental illness, physical and mental and emotional, you name it. Release it. You have 3 days to vent. But after that, start reflecting, start reframing, redesigning, and start rehearsing, taking action. And one other important things, when you realize, important thing when it comes to growth, when you realize how much value you have, you start realizing that each and every single person around you has a value. And this is when you start helping them into also having and designing their personal growth. And it has to be intentional. It has to be planned, as John said. It doesn't happen automatically. It's not like age. It's not like when I'm a child, as tiny as this, and automatically I grew into the adult I am today. It needs to be intentional. We need to have self-awareness. That's number one. So I can say we need to have emotional intelligence, because with emotional intelligence, I identify my emotions. I give them a name. What is behind that anger? Where did this anger come from? And once I have this awareness, self-management begin. And John also says the most difficult thing, or the most difficult form of leadership is self-leadership. So this is self-discipline and self-management. And then once this happens, I start having awareness about other people and why they are reacting or behaving the way they are. And then I start helping them. And this is where I can have organizational management, social management, you name it. And I invite you to follow the steps that I have used, reframe, redesign, and rehearse as much as you can in order for them to be rooted within you and bring out those talents and beautiful seeds that God has planted within you, so you can really cherish your uniqueness and be an added value to everyone around you. So the steps that you should be following are 3 steps. Cure your destination disease. So what is your purpose? What are your goals? Is it money? Is it a car? Is it a house? What is it? What is that intentional growth that you are going to be seeking? Is it your legacy? Is it your calling? Is it what people want to say about you when you're gone? What is the impact that you have left behind you after that? I'd like you really to reflect on that. And a great tool I use, do you know what I do? Do you know, instead of writing each at the beginning of the year, those affirmations, and I want to do that, and people go do that every single year, I write my eulogy instead. And I ask myself those questions. So you have to be very honest with yourself. You have to be vulnerable with yourself. You have to hold the mirror and see who you are. And by writing my eulogy every single year, I know my legacy. I know what I want to leave behind me. And I know my plan for each year, my growth plan for each year, because I have my end goal is my legacy. So please cure your destination disease. John advises here. Learn something new every day, believe me. And when we say learn something new, it's so easy. It's just curiosity. Ask the people. I mean, each one of us has different knowledge. Each one of us comes from a different part of the world or from a different background, and we have an added value. You just have to have the courage to ask and the humility in order for you to say, please teach me, help me, I need you. And you cannot imagine the growth that you can achieve just by those simple questions. And intentionality is so important. Well, I want to leave you with this sentence, but after I mention this quote, I'm going to open the floor for 1 or 2 people so we can have also an interactive section as Dr. Alfred did at the beginning, at the first section. So I want to leave you with this. Thoughts become actions, actions become habits, and habits become our destiny. Your thoughts are your choice. This is another choice that you can make. Personal growth is a choice. Your thoughts are a choice. What thoughts do you want to choose for them to become actions, for them to become habits, and for them to become your destiny? And I'm going to add, for them to become your legacy. And I want 2 volunteers, please, in order to interact with.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. As we did the last time, anyone who wants to speak should please get their do well to raise up your hand and then get your camera ready. Yes, and we'll take you.
Yeah.
All right.
Pakina.
Yeah, Pakina. The next person should.
Hello again.
By the way, I want to introduce Pakinam is a friend. She's Lebanese. We used to teach at the same school. And Pakinam is now a John C. Maxwell trainer certified. She's just got it.
Wow, that is so nice.
Yep,
Yeah.
it was just 2 days ago. I'm just back. I landed yesterday in LA, back from Florida, my first IMC with John Maxwell. It was incredible. It was so inspiring, so much to chew. I cannot wait for the long weekend here in the United States. We have a long weekend. It's the Labor Day weekend. I cannot wait for that, to sit with my notes and reorganize them and reorganize my thoughts. It was, again, very inspiring, but there's so much to learn and grow from. And as John Maxwell said, like, it's climbing and there's no end for growth. There's no destination. It's a continuous journey.
So Paki, now, if you want to give yourself a score on a scale from 1 to 10 on personal growth itself, how much would you score yourself?
I would again say 8. And the reason I'm saying 8, because throughout the years, I know that I've grown a lot, but so I'm going to say the growth mindset is 8, not my growth is 8. So I don't know how to give a scale for the growth where I am right now, because we don't know. Again, it depends how long I'm going to live. So my growth mindset is I would say 8 out of 10. Absolutely, I can do better. I can maybe organize my time better, be more intentional about what I learn, like what is it that I'm choosing to learn, how can I prioritize and reprioritize my learnings based on the needs at this specific situation or at this specific moment. We all have values that we identify for ourselves, right? And based on those values, I daily ask myself, what is it that I am doing every single day to feed that value? So let's say, for example, I'm going to give you an example from my daily life. Right now, I have a preteen girl. She requires a lot of attention, and I promised myself that I will spend at least 45 minutes of the day with her, not judging her, not planning to give her any of my talks, but just be present for her, whatever she needs me with. And I failed sometimes doing that because we're so busy, her schedule doesn't fit mine, etc. But with the intentionality in mind, we are making it happen. We've been making it happen for the past month or so. So now it became a habit, like that routine that I wanted to create. It became a habit. So we are looking both forward to it. And it's just, it feels so powerful that intentionality for this one value that I'm intentionally working towards, how closer we are, how responsive she is with other things that, like, I didn't even intend for this to happen, but automatically it happened. So maybe I shifted a little bit from the main topic, but again, like, growth is intentional. That's the main concept for me.
And who, in your opinion, embraces that value? Whom around you in your environment really embodies the value of personal growth?
I want to say my family members that see me. I work remote, so I don't go to work. But also John Maxwell said, people do what they see, not what you say. So they don't do what you say, they do what you they really do what they see you doing. So by modeling the behavior, automatically the people who you are surrounded with will do the same as you do. So both with when you say and you do what you really say.
Okay, and what would be a specific action step that you would take today in order for you to grow in that value in particular? And let it be specific, like a SMART goal, you know? So tell me, what is the action? When will you do that action? And with whom will you do that action?
Yes. Great question. Let's follow the SMART answer. So the situation that I'm in right now, I do so even despite the fact that I am a Maxwell team member certified. However, I still have the other certifications to complete. So my next one is going to be the coaching certification. So that's the situation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule the coaching calls on a weekly basis and commit to attending them. Schedule 1 hour on a weekly basis for me to go over the videos and do the exercises. And I'm giving myself from now until the end of this year to complete all of them and get the certification.
Sounds awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Bakinam, for sharing. And,
Thank you.
and Adu, I would like to give the stage back to you. Unless anyone has any question, I'm ready. I'm open for Q&As. And Adu, please. Yes.
All right. We have a hand up. And okay, sir.
Suggestion.
Yes. Good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
It's evening in Ghana. Yes. So concerning
Sorry,
personal growth,
you can unmute your video. I mean,
that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I think it's working now.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So with personal growth, the first time I heard John C. Maxwell talking about personal growth, he said he was asked a question whether he has a personal growth plan. And he said no. And then he was taking through, he bought a material that helped him to start the journey of personal growth. And he said, look, personal growth, the value is over $1 million. Why? Because everything he has achieved is through personal growth. So I tell people, if even you are growing just 1% a week, in a year, you are going to grow by 52%, which is huge. So if we will focus on personal growth, which to me is the foundational principle for greatness, I believe the sky will not be the limit, but it will be the starting point. So let's all embrace personal growth. Let's be intentional about it. Let's work at it with discipline. I pick some few things from him, 2D and 2C. So it should be daily discipline, and then consistency will compound whatever we want to achieve. So that's what I want to share with all of us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I was asked to repeat my last words by Prosper, I guess. And that is, thoughts become actions, actions become habits, and our habits become our destiny. So these were my last words. Anyone?
Wow.
Thank you, Adu.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's really great, having you. Everyone, please, I want to see your virtual clap right there. I
Thank
want
you.
to see your virtual clap. Yeah, we are wrapping up now. But yes, I mean, you should really give us give her a clap. Yeah, that is good. Thank you so much on the subject personal growth. We really, really appreciate you. I can see the notes in the comment section. People are writing up what they've learned, and of course there will be the graphics team, the creative team. They are going to put something up like a quote after all of this by the end of the retreat. So yes, I mean, it's really nice. And thank you for packing Fowler for becoming a certified John Maxwell facilitator. Yeah, I think you deserve a good one. Some of us who have walked through that journey, we know how intense it is to study and just to practice and show up. It's about showing up. And yeah, thank you for joining in. Thank you so much, Ma. All right, you've heard it. Personal growth and attitude. Your attitude to life, determines everything. As John Maxwell said, and in fact, we have Dr. Dr. Alfred tell us a practical example of his eyeglass. Your attitude is that speck on your face that colors everything and how you see everything. So yes, you don't want to joke with that, with your attitude. You have to keep improving your attitude daily. And of course, personal growth. She said something, very insightful about mindset. Do not think about limiting belief. Try to raise your mind above it. You cannot dwell in your past. You have to focus on the future. Yes, because when you dwell so much in the past, you would not have a reason to appreciate all of the good things that is happening to you right now. So I mean, you don't want to joke with all of these insights you've got. And of course, this is day one. You can see how packed it already is. Day two, of course, is tomorrow. And it's going to be really inciting too, because we'll be having two guests, speaking to us. One person from South Africa, and also from the Ithras land. So yes, I mean, it's going to be, a very good and insightful one. And of course, by the way of announcement, you already know what the Intellect Quest company is. If you join in early, I said what it is. It's a knowledge company. And John Maxwell said something, she said, John Maxwell said something, about personal growth. That is I've forgotten the value that was placed on it, but that is what it is. Self-development, personal growth, and just building up yourself. That's what the Intellect Quest is doing. We will be doing so much of all of this. In fact, there is a podcast that will be coming soon. The Glow the Glow Fluence conversation. Yes, which simply means the global influence conversation. And within this, you'll be, hearing a lot of insightful things. We're bringing speakers from different parts of the world, to talk to you. I believe for some of us who are, Nigerians, and you join this call, you hear, us sharing some deep things, she's a Lebanese, and she stays at Dubai. But you hear all of the things that she's saying. It's what I can relate with. Those are some of the things you can also relate with. You and your father, your siblings, and all of that. I mean, that is what the Intellect Quest is doing. Yeah, we'll be bringing ideas from different world just to you. And yes, I don't know, there's a logo for the Intellect Quest. The logo has been approved and signated. So if the technical team could please share, that would be nice. And of course, introducing to you the IQ community. Yes, the IQ community. You already know what IQ means. IQ means intellect quest. And what it simply means is that you are on the quest to, increasing your intellect. Yeah, the Intellect Quest company. And of course, powering the Intellect Quest community. You want to be in that community. That community is going to bring, different minds together. That is where you will get announcements of all of the things we are that we'll be putting together, and all of that. Global, minds are coming to speak, to us. And yes, thank you, everyone. It's been a good time. We start pretty much a bit late because of some technical arrangements we're trying to solve. And yes, we are wrapping up now, but do we have the link for some of us who are here who are not yet in the community? Do we have the link in the chat group yet? Okay, yes, I think I can see a link there. Yes, so I mean, you want to join the Intellect Quest community? Yeah, click that link right away and be part of the mind shaping individuals from around the world. I think with all of this, our speakers deserve a very good round of applause. So yes, please give a virtual round of applause as we thank them so much. Thank you. We so much appreciate. And of course, I must acknowledge everyone joining on YouTube. Yeah, there are some people joining us on YouTube. You can see few numbers here, but there are some people watching live on YouTube, and I've been seeing the notes. They are also dropping their learning point. I mean, it just shows how much they are following through. So thank you everyone for joining me tonight. Tomorrow, same time, same venue, this same link. Come in early. You want to come in by 6:45. So we can already start going. So by 7 we just start straight away. Remember, we're having 2 speakers again tomorrow coming from 2 different parts of the world. You don't want to miss that. And you will be blessed, and your mind, of course, will be impacted. So all right, everyone, at this point, would like to say a very goodbye to you. See you tomorrow and catch up with you. Thank you.